Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Nada Youssef. Today, we're at the cle.clinic Culinary Medicine Teaching Kitchen here at the Wellness Institute.
Outdoor teaching kitchen.
That's absolutely right. We're outdoors today, so our hair is up. We're getting ready for this wet weather. And of course, to lead the way, we have Chef Jim Perko, along his sous chef, Gabby Shipta. And with Father's Day right around the corner, we figured why not maybe grill up some salmon. We are on Facebook Live. We are also on Instagram Live, so you can join either or. So go ahead and lead the way. Tell us what we're making today.
Okay, so first, we are going to outdoor grill, but the whole really intent of wanting to do this was because this weekend's Father's Day, right? And then the summer grilling season is kicking up. So what we want to show you today is how you could outdoor grill and reduce the risks and hazards associated with grilling foods and outdoor grilling and burning and charring in general.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to begin over here. This is our professional chef publications, which is in burning and charring and everything. This is what you do not want to do. These are publications that show the risk associated with burning and charring and grilling, and its hazards for breast cancer, prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, many cancers. This is right here, the American Institute for Cancer Research, and clearly it says, and this just came out 2 weeks ago, that cooking meats at high temperatures results in the formation of heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, and it's been associated with tumors and many cancers, right? So this is legit research, legit data. The bottom line, what we're going to try to do is going to be right here. We want everything small and lean and thin. Science shows that if you marinate first, especially with dark green leafy herbs, it reduces the carcinogens. You want to use a cooker with a cover and a lid because marinades often have oil. Oil drips, induces a flame. When you close the lid, no air, no fire, right? You close the holes. Then we want to make sure we have an offset fire, no chemical igniters, and you definitely don't want to burn or blacken anything. And the worst thing you could ever put on the grill and burn or char or blacken is a hot dog.
It's a hot dog. Cured
with sodium nitrate. Nitrate forms carcinogens called nitrosamines. It's 2015 World Health Organization labeled processed meats, cured meats as a category 1 carcinogen. So we definitely don't want to do that, right? That's right. Okay. So when you go, so I got some fresh parsley, and again I says I want to use dark green leafy herbs, right? So I got basil. Just going to do, if you ball up the parsley like so, right, we'll get a nice chop. Okay, and that's an easy way to do it. So when you have loose leaf parsley, excuse me, you want to just ball it up like so, see? And then now look how nice and easy you could get it chopped. Then we're going to take basil, that goes into the bowl, all right? Now we're going to do shipping of the basil. Okay, so I got some basil leaves here. Okay, and we're just going to take them, we're going to line them up, because this is what the science says will help reduce carcinogens associated with the grilling. Not me, but that's what the science says, okay? So now, if you do a fine chiffonade, and then we'll do a cross cut to give us a dice, right? Okay, there's our cross cut. So now we got dark leafy herbs in there. Okay, that goes in. And then I wanted to show you real quickly, because I'm going to put some leeks in. When you buy a leek, you want to just run it under cold water and you fan them out. You cut it against, lengthwise with the cat's eye. I don't have water here to show you, but so you would run it under water, you fan that out. And then, so what I have here, we're just going to cut them into strips, and then we're going to do a cross-cut dice like so.
Some pesto sauce, or is that kind of
Well, this isn't a pesto nada, so this is just making a rub.
Oh, okay. This is just the rub,
yeah,
okay.
This is, all this is making a rub.
Okay.
We're going to put some goodness in that bowl.
Oh, good.
Okay? Yeah. Okay, so we got our leeks going in. I got some more leeks, right? Okay, I had a culinary medicine for chronic disease shared medical appointment last night, which was left over from what I did last night, so that's going into the bowl. I got some lemon zest, okay, and I just want to show you real fast that when you do a lemon, you don't want to get into the pit. So we just want to do very gently so you don't see it white. because the pit will have bitterness, right? So we're going to put some lemon zest in here. So now we'll have a lemon infused rub. All right? Okay, so. And we got a little bit of olive oil. So if you're going to use oil, this is a perfect example of getting your bang for your buck. The oil isn't, we're not using this oil to dip bread in or anything.
Right.
We're using it to infuse all these flavors, some more lemon zest, some more garlic. When I put the lemon in, I got a lemon oil. When I put the garlic in with it, I got a lemon garlic oil, right?
Yeah.
And some more parsley.
It smells really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really fresh.
It's absolutely good. Okay. So now, we're going to do the salmon. Okay.
Changing stations. Okay.
Okay. So what we have here is a whole side of salmon. I'm going to take increasing surface area will increase the area of which you can flavor. So
Okay.
if I took that salmon and cut it in a larger piece, right? Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Now, let me ask you about the skin. I like to eat the skin of the salmon. Is it good for you? Why are we removing the skin?
Well, because if I remove the skin, two things. One, I could get all this. Two, when you like to eat the skin, chances are you don't like it soggy. You
No,
like it crispy. Yeah. We don't want to overcook this
Sure.
fish, and we're not searing it in a pan to make the skin crispy.
Okay.
And then also, I don't like belly fat on the fish. So I want to take the belly fat off, okay? And so that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to reach over here and grab my garbage can and just put it by me over here. Thank you. Okay. So now, here's our fish. Okay, so what we're going to do is you take the knife, and on about of a 90 degree like so, okay, we're going to take it, and you want to grab the skin with like a paper towel or something to hold it so you get a good grip. Okay, and then you just very gently, see, slice, and come right off, like so. There's our skin, okay? Your compost pile or whatever you like, or stock, right? So, I'm not big on that. I don't find it very palatable, so I'm going to remove it.
Where is the belly fat exactly?
Right
That's
here,
all
this
that
dark.
in the
Yeah,
top.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. See? So when you go to a restaurant, they don't really remove this stuff. Okay? So,
But is that the fat in the salmon when
well, this fat's all through the salmon. I just don't find this fat palatable.
Sure.
Okay? And it could be a personal preference as well.
Now you can buy it with all this removed, correct?
Most people probably not, or if they do, they're going to charge it because, you know, they're going to sell by weight, right?
Sure, sure.
I mean, they're in the business to make money. Okay, so see, I get it. Now I just take that fat off like so. And again, it helps to have the right tool for the right job. So I'm doing this with I could do it with a chef's knife like this one here, which I do in the class, but I brought this one in today from home because I wanted to show everybody. You know, it helps to have the right tool for the right job, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So now, I'll get this off on my first slice. So see, I got most of it off. Okay. This will be the largest one here, so I'll just cut this like this. And now that way I get that belly fat off. Okay, and then all this goes into my rub. So here's what I'm talking about, increase. If I hold a knife on a diagonal, like so, and look at, I'm not cutting straight down, I'm cutting on bias slices. So look what happens. Look at all how thin this is. So when I say here, small, lean, and thin,
That's exactly
this
right.
is what I mean. I don't have fat. I'll have the fat in the marinade, but marinades reduce carcinogens, so I want that. If it drips, I'll show you how the fire goes out.
Okay.
But this is what I want. And why is this so important? Because this fish is going to be about 45 on the other, in and out and gone drastic. Okay? So imagine if I put the goodness in that bowl just on the top. I get all these slices. See? How nice? Look how nice. So, yeah. And by doing it on a bias, you get so much more surface area. Okay? This is soon. Okay? Look how easy. Now, you could tell, if I laid all these slices out, how much more surface area you have,
Sure.
right? But the biggest factor is that I don't want it in the grill a long time. And I want my stuff to taste good, right?
Sure, of course.
So I will have fish that will not be overcooked. It'll be jumping with flavor. And if you did go to the store and you bought a large piece of fish, you want to cook it all, because this fish is great the next day on a salad, right?
Right.
2 days later. It's great cold, okay?
Oh yeah, it's great raw, non sushi. And we also put the recipe for our viewers on the comment section below.
Okay. So, see, here we go. We are all done. Look at all the surface area, that we have, okay? So now, we're going to take this and just mix it. Look at Nina.
Wow.
Look at that, how nice. All this
Smells
flavor,
amazing.
all this goodness, not to mention the green leafy herbs and the marinade that'll help reduce carcinogens. Okay, there we go. Now, okay.
All right.
Okay,
let me
so
get out of your
look,
way.
our fire's looking really, really good right now. It's beautiful. So it was about an hour ago I actually started to light this, okay? So I got some hickory wood that was soaking in water. You never want to put dry wood on. You always want to soak it. So I'm going to put a couple pieces of hickory in here, okay, like so. Okay, that's enough. Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to put our cold racks. You'll see how quick this is. So I got a hot zone and I got a cool zone, okay? All right, I want to get my fish. Okay. And the rub goes on. And I'm putting the fish on the cold racks. Okay.
Starting 90 seconds, huh?
Yep.
It's gonna go fast.
Well, you'll see. And that could depend on when you go to slice your fish, how thick or thin you slice it.
Sure.
You know, the thinner, the less, it'll go quicker. If you slice it too thick, it might take a little bit longer. But that's what I'll show you real fast. See how the wood is starting to catch?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're getting a little flare up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want it starts to flare up like that. We close the lid. We close the holes over here. We close the hole. Stuck and I can't, so it's going to stay open. And but we want this one closed. If that wasn't stuck, I'd close them too. But it's working. You know why? It's coming around. So the fire went out. You could see all the smoke coming. The fire's gone. Okay.
Okay. Good.
So, and you'll see the first pieces. So that's probably, we're at a minute, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're at a minute.
Okay. All right.
You have less than 20 seconds.
Okay. How much time was that?
Less than 20 seconds you have left.
I got less 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You counting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There it is.
Okay, there we
Wow.
go. Look how nice. Okay, so see how these proteins, now we're going to flip them. See that? This is what we want. Meanwhile, if I thought that was too hot, I could easily put it
Move
over
it.
here.
Okay.
Because
that's where the fire is it's all on
cool.
this section, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you have an offset fire, that's the way you want to moderate your heat, with an offset fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got that one.
Okay. So you want to do it that way. Okay. See how I'm starting to get a fire again?
Yeah. You're going to close up the lid again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now the fire isn't here, so it's more
Different
time
for me.
because it's not under the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can
like
see,
this.
look how nice we're doing. And this, just by me keeping my hand here, you could tell this isn't that hot, right? So when I go to close the lid, I'm looking right here inside this cavity. You don't want a hot fire, right? Because you don't want to have those risks of the burning and the charring. Right now, this is doing so good, I don't even have to close this. Another thing you could take note of is that if you put a lot of humidity, the smoke will be gray. Once it vents out the humidity, the smoke actually turns a bluish color. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so now our fish is going to be done real soon. All right, so what I got to do is I got a pan. I put a piece of foil on it. I'm just going to take it out of the grill. I'm going to put it in here, let it cool while I do my next fish. And then I think what I'll do Gabby finish grilling,
Okay.
and then I'll show you how to do the pesto green beans. Okay, so Gabby, you could get a pair of... So see, here we go. There's our fish, fully cooked, no burning, no charring. There we go. That's exactly what we want, just like that.
Wow.
Look how good that looks.
That looks
okay?
amazing.
Yeah. We want just like that.
So I have Suzette on Facebook ask, but she loves other fish. Which are the best? Just got my first gout. Too much tuna, she asked. Is there any other fish that you suggest? The same kind of cooking techniques?
Sure. What's her name?
Her name's Suzette.
Suzette. So, well, first of all, for fish, and the one thing I forgot to mention was too is that you got to consider there's also risks associated with fish. Some people look at wild, some people look at farm. I actually have a handout there that from the, and I'll let here, Brandon can zoom in on this if he wants, on this last one right here. Okay, so this one shows from Washington State died from the brake dust that came off the cars that went into the creeks, that went into the river, and it killed the fish.
Wow.
So sometimes a sustainably farm that you know the feed was good and the water was good of which it was in could be better. The other thing is the big fish ate the little piece of fish, the greater the risk for contaminants, right? PCBs, mercury, so on and so forth. Now back to the original question. So you could pretty much use any kind of fish that you want. If it's a real soft one, you might put it on another rack, put it on here and then take it off, or sometimes they'll use, you know, like a piece of salt, or they'll use a piece of wood and they'll put it on there, like cedar plank, that type of deal.
Yeah.
Right? So now we're just going to see, I'll clean this off again because I don't want any burnt residue. If I think this part is too hot, okay, I could easily switch one on the other side, right? Mm-hmm. And put the cooler one on.
Oh, yeah, more.
Okay.
Yes.
Like so, and I could put this on like that. Put these here, because this, you could even tell there's no sizzle there, right?
Yeah.
Because this is,
well,
there's no fire.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's right.
So
okay.
this is just going to take longer to cook then?
No, I'm going to switch it over there.
Switch it, okay.
Yeah.
And then Tracy, I know you just talked about farm-raised salmon. She's asking, is it safe to eat farm-raised salmon? I've always heard negatives on how it's raised.
You have, right, you have to, you know, check out where and the farm. So example, if you had if it was farmed in an area that was real tight, cramped, and then they get disease and, you know, lice and all that, so they give them antibiotics, you know, that's not good. But if you got maybe a small ruby trout, let's say, sustainably farmed that was only this big, you really reduce your risk. What made farming bad was the feed, what they fed it, and the conditions of which it grown in. But if it's sustainably farmed and it's grown in good conditions, then it's it's 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Because wild, I don't know that I'd want to eat anything out of Lake Erie. I don't know that I want to eat anything out of the Gulf after the oil spill, right? So I mean, and I just gave you the example there of Washington State. You know, and when you look at it, any kind of fish really, all the water in the planet Earth is the world's source. So no matter where you go, there's going to be a degree of contaminants in it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Any place in the world.
Okay.
All right. That goes to show you the benefits of having a plant-based diet.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to let Gabby do this.
Okay.
I got fish already here going. Gabby, when you're done, you'll put it in there. The next thing I'm going to do is the green beans.
Right here?
Correct.
Okay.
So, but again, I want to mention the take-home point. You just don't want to burn or char. So you saw how quickly and how fast we put that fish on the grill and we got it out. So if it was fish, if it was meat, if it was vegetables, doesn't matter. Okay. You want to keep it small, lean, and thin, in and out. If there's marinades, you want to have a lid. Lid will reduce the marinades by, you know, a good percent, or marinades will reduce carcinogens by a good percentage.
Okay.
Science and studies show that, and so that's what you. Oh, I know what gloves.
That's funny because I always heard that you shouldn't over marinate so it doesn't cause the flames. But then all we do is cover the.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, like example, some people would marinate chicken in Italian dressing. then they do it overnight. Well, that's not really good. Here's a couple reasons why. Number one, acids will denature proteins, and it will cause that product to expel more moisture. So example, if you put an acid on a piece of meat, you know how if it stayed in there too long, it got really mushy and soggy?
Sure.
Because it denatured the proteins. That's Harold McGee, on Food and Cooking. If you, and not like Italian dressing, and actually marinating really doesn't tenderize, okay? If you got something really tough, marinade's not going to make it tender. If you want to tenderize something, you got to do it mechanically, right? Pounding
it, yeah.
You know, butcher shops, they pin meat with a Jacquardi machine. The most extreme sense would be grinding.
Wow.
You could take anything to, oh yeah, if you went to Arby's, I mean, you didn't even need teeth to eat that sandwich. You could have gummed it. They shaved it so thin, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So if you grind meat, of course you could chew it. So that's mechanically tenderizing, okay? Okay, so now we're going to make something for our salmon, a side dish, okay? So we got toasted pecans and toasted walnuts, right? We're going to put them in. And we don't want nut butter. Pulse them until we got a nice fine chop. Okay? Nuts. Now we got some fresh basil. Okay, we got fresh parsley. Parsley, again, is loaded with vitamin C.
Yeah.
We got fresh spinach. And actually what would go really good in here is, like in my garden now, the garlic, the scapes are starting to come out.
Oh.
You could cut the scapes and you could put
This is what comes out of the garlic?
Right. It's hardened garlic will shoot out a scape into a coil, and you want to get it while it's in a coil. And it's real garlicky, and you could have a scape pesto.
Oh, never tasted that.
Oh, yeah, it's delicious. And then we got some fresh garlic. Okay, a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil. That's it. Okay, and now this pesto's totally vegan. There's no cheese in it, no dairy. And we're going to put this, instead of on pasta or anything, we're not going to put it on pasta. This makes a great, great side dish, by the way. Okay, we're going to put it on beans. All right.
Nice.
Oh yeah, this is outstanding. Okay. And just because beans are green, don't let it fool you. There's carotenes in beans, just like there are in other colored vegetables, okay? All right, so there's our pesto, okay? So now I'll put a pair of gloves on. Okay, so you could see the beans here, right? So here's two things. Number one, they're tiny, teeny, weeny, and small, right?
Wow. Okay.
Because remember, just like with the salmon, by cutting the salmon in small pieces, you want to increase flavor, you increase the surface area. If that bean was going to be this long, it wouldn't taste as good. I wouldn't get as much pesto on it. By cutting in tiny, teeny, weeny, small pieces, I'll get more pesto, more surface area. They're going to chew better, taste better, everything better, right?
Okay.
The other thing is, see how they're in that cloth? They're dry. So when you cook these, you don't want to shock them in cold water. We want them nice and dry. So that's why we're in here trying to keep them dry, okay? Because if they were wet, they will dilute all the goodness that's in this bowl. And we don't want to do that, right?
So is this fresh, or what do you get? Frozen? What is the best?
No. Those are fresh.
Okay.
You know, I think I might have said this with you before now. There's a saying in the culinary world, right? Good in will help you get good out.
Yes.
Right? So it'll still have the nutrients, but from a taste and texture standpoint, you can't beat fresh. Right. And you can't beat if you grow them in your garden. So like if you got either Blue Lake beans, whether they were pole or bush beans, then you'll harvest those first because they'll produce faster. Pole beans will take a few more weeks. But I'll tell you, they're even a greener green. They're delicious and tender as all heck. Okay, so now pesto, this makes a killer side dish for even, it's an awesome accompaniment for the salmon.
So is this served room temperature?
Well, that's a good question too. So you could do it hot, you could do it cold, but think about this for a second. Nuts have oil, right?
Right.
Now when oil's cold, it isn't as palatable as when it's not so cold on the warm side. This is awesome room temperature.
Okay, good.
Awesome, okay? Because when it's cold, the oils in the nuts congeal a little bit, right? Doesn't make it as palatable, okay? So here we go, there's our, okay, now we're going to move this over here, and I'll show you this here, okay? So here's our dish, all right? Okay, So we're going to put a little bit of beans like so. And this would be outstanding for any summer table. Okay, we got our salmon. All right, so.
Wow, this looks amazing.
Oh,
Salmon.
yeah. Yeah, nice.
They're like bite-sized for me. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Jen, should I shut this hole? Should I shut it?
Sure. Yeah, you could shut it. You guys could see. Look how nice.
Wow.
No burning, no charring, and you have drastic and the carcinogens associated with outdoor grilling.
Wow. This looks amazing. Thank you so much, Jim.
You are so welcome. And so everybody gets to see Nada try it.
Get the honors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did by myself, too. Okay, man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you get it still enough smoke. Everything's good.
Good.
This is amazing. I like the green beans, how they're crunchy, too.
Oh, yeah.
The texture together, these are amazing.
And so again, this is what you don't want to do. You don't, and it's sexy. Everybody loves this stuff. Everybody likes to burn in there. Oh, that's the best part. That's what I like, all that stuff. But it's not going to love you back. And I always say this in every one we do. When you put something, you want to love and enjoy food, right? We all want to love and enjoy the food,
Definitely.
but you want to love the food that's going to love you back.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Burning and charring won't love you back. When you outdoor grill, this was in there less than 2 minutes, and we're done, and it's finished, and you got beautiful taste and flavor, and you're enjoying it with plants too, which is what you want.
This is amazing. Thank you so much, Jim.
You are so
Thank you so
welcome.
much,
Thank you,
Gabby.
Gabby.
And for more health tips,
And
information,
Brandon and Dan, thank you.
And Brandon and Dan, information and recipes, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, at Cleveland Clinic, one word. Thank you. I'm going to finish this up.